I took him in the car and went to the pediatric ophthalmologist's office. They gave me an appointment, and the ophthalmologist looked in his eyes and went, "Oh my God," and turned around and left. I'm Kathy Cordero.
I'm Jacob Cordero. I wrote Minecraft for Dummies Portable Edition and GameStar Mechanic for Dummies.
They told me that he had bilateral retinoblastoma, which is cancer of the retinas, that it was in both eyes, and that he had a 1% chance of survival. Called my husband, and he met me at home, and we both worked in technology and the internet and all of that, so research was our friend, and we realized that yes, 1% is true if it's gone trilateral and has gone and traveled down the optic nerve, but we wouldn't know that until we had an MRI. So at any rate, so Jacob started his treatment at 4 months old, which was chemotherapy, not for the faint of heart, giving chemo drugs to an infant. He was he was the only infant when we were there who was going through chemotherapy. We would do a round every week with 1 week off, so 3 weeks a month, two outpatient and 1 inpatient. But again, his first inpatient one, which is where they give him the super strong drugs, he was feeling really sick and nauseated, and he was a baby, and so he's spitting up a lot. And he saw his dad walk into the room, and he lifted his head up, big old grin on his face, and I thought, well, if you can take it, I can take it. So he did great, and I think from that point on, this kid has had an amazing, rich inner world that he has developed over time.
The first thing that my parents did when they discovered I had cancer was research it and figure out what exactly is going on. So we have a very academically oriented family. I honestly hardly remember any of it. I mean, I've had trouble with depth perception all through my life, but that's mainly my only reminder. But it was mostly my parents' story back then, because I wasn't quite old enough to understand what was happening, but I definitely understand now.
He's blind in his left eye. The tumors formed over the fovea. He had his last tumor at 2.5.
And it really hasn't affected my life all that much, just since I've adapted, and my vision with one eye seems mostly normal for me. But there was definitely a lot of sacrifices being made to get me here.
Jacob has said it hasn't been a defining part of his life. I mean, I would say more it was the kind of his inner world and mathematics, of course, and things like that ended up defining it later, and games.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I don't want to finish a book and say, hooray, I finished 80% of a project. I was mainly working towards a sense of closure, and achieving that was a really great experience. I have a lot of life to figure out, and it's definitely nice to have some big credentials that I can start from. And getting to write this book was definitely a huge privilege.